Dave Balzer here. What I wanted to do today was to show you how to effectively demonstrate our new PiMag Sport bottle. But before I start, let's just go over some of the parts of the bottle. Of course, we have the low-density polyethylene shell with the nice graphics, the 4 inserted neodymium magnets with the band across the top, and then we've got the cap. And the cap is really where the action is. Let me unscrew this and show you. This, of course, is the filter, which is quite different than the bottle we had before because this filter is removable and replaceable after it's reached its capacity of 40 gallons. It screws very nicely and very tightly, and you just hand tighten it into the cap. The cap itself has a movable spout or nozzle, which is replaceable. So with every new filter that you order, you also get a new nozzle. So you don't have to worry about it getting dirty or getting gungy. But actually, if you do get contamination in there, you can just pop this nozzle out, give it a rinse in soapy water, and put it back on and take care of the problem. One of the other things I wanted to show you is when you get your bottle and you unpack it, it's nice to assemble it, make sure the spout's closed, make sure the cap is on tight, and give it a little squeeze. If you hear any air rushing out, then it's a leaker. If it's nice and tight like this one, you're good to go. All right, let's move on to the demonstration. I've got another bottle here that is actually filled with pool water. And I wanted to use that because two reasons. First, the city of Irvine, where Nikken is, uses reverse osmosis as a municipality. So there's really no detectable chlorine in the water system itself. And they don't need it because by using reverse osmosis, they don't have the problem with microbes. And as we all know, either chlorine or chloramine are used by municipalities in order to kill the pesticides, in order to bring the pathogen level down to a percentage that is drinkable. And it's very effective in addressing the short-term health issue of having pathogens in the water, but it's not something you want to drink. And it's also an easy demo to do, and it's an effective demo to do because these kits are available. Now, please realize that this composite filter, which is a solid phase mixture of ion exchange resins as well as activated charcoal as well as KDF, does a lot more contaminants than just chlorine. But chlorine is the easiest and the most available for you to demonstrate, so we just thought we'd pick that. What I did was I went to the hardware store, Ace Hardware, and I picked up a test kit that actually cost me $5. It's used for pools, it's used for testing pools. It'll do pH and it'll also do chlorine, and it's the chlorine that we're interested in doing first. It comes with this nice little mix reagent stand and the 2 reagents. The phenol red for the pH I'm not going to bother with today, but I'm going to use the OTO or the orthotolididine in order to demonstrate the ability to detect chlorine. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm telling you that what I have in here is actually water from my swimming pool. And I'm using that because it has a very high level of chlorine relative to tap water. And what I'm doing is I'm taking a sample right out of the bottle so that you can see exactly where I'm getting the water from. And I'm going to fill it up to the fill line. And then take the reagent and put in the 4 drops that's prescribed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see it's already starting to turn yellow. There's a little cap in here. And what you do is you invert it a couple times to get it mixed, and I think you can clearly see that not only is there chlorine in the water, but the chlorine is practically off scale. It's above 4 parts per million. It's probably in the 5 or 6 part per million range. I'm going to dump this out, give it a little bit of a rinse, and then I'm going to repeat the process with exactly the same water, in exactly the same bottle, but with the filter engaged. So I'm going to screw the filter down and just make it finger tight, make sure there's no leak. And what I'll do is I'll spritz out a little bit here so that I clear out any water or anything that might have been in the filter before, just so you know I'm playing fair. And go ahead and fill this back up with the filtered PiMag water. Here we go, back with my 4 drops of reagent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give it a shake. And as you can see, it's absolutely crystal clear. There's no yellow tinge, there's no yellow in it at all, indicating that it has gone from well above 5 parts per million to below 0.5. There's no detectable chlorine in there at all. All right, let me put this aside just for a second and go to a second test. And this is one that I think is fairly popular. People use it at home because it's kind of easier to do. And that's when you just take 2 glasses, hopefully clean, and what we're going to do is I'm going to put the filtered water through first just because it's easier for me to do. I'm going to put in, squeeze the bottle, and put in, I don't know, probably half a cup or so of the filtered water. I'm going to put the drops in right now. I really don't know how many drops to put in here because it's a volume that's not intended for these reagents, but I'm going to put in 7 or 8 drops and then give it a little swish to mix it in. And then I'm going to open this and take the pool water that's inside and hopefully get about the same amount of water in here as I have with the filtered water. And I'll do the 7 or 8 drops again. And you can see readily that it's turning yellow, detecting the chlorine. And if I give that a swish and spin it out, I really think you can see the difference. So either way that you do it, if you get the $5 kit, you can use the reagent, you can use the apparatus that comes with it, or you can go ahead and do the chlorine detection in these glasses. That's it. Thank you very much. See you next time.